experimenting with alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs during this time, and there is an increased occurrence of accidents and deaths as a result. Be aware and be safe. This message is brought to you by Crowley's Ridge Development Council.
Check out Melvin Williams of the Williams Brothers every Sunday morning from 5 to 7 a.m. here on KLEK for the Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, playing the very best in quartet and inspirational gospel music that you'll love, as well as feature interviews with all of your favorite gospel artists. It's Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, Sundays from 5 to 7 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Arkansas Early Learning prepares children up to 5 years old for kindergarten by offering a secure learning environment, qualified teachers at several locations in Northeast Arkansas at no cost. Applications are available at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
Coronavirus.
Knowledge is power.
I'm driving carefully. That's what we all say we do. And now, with less cars on the road, we should do so now more than ever. The reason? Due to COVID-19 and less traffic, some motorists are driving with more reckless abandon. You may have noticed some are driving faster, they're not using signals to change lanes, and they're speeding through stop signs and red lights. Don't be that person. So if you're driving, obey speed limits. Use your signals. Check your rear view and side mirrors before you change a lane. Stop at stop signs and red lights. And most of all, buckle up and drive carefully.
Coping with coronavirus.
From the Power News Radio Network.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversation on KLEK 102.5 FM with our guest now, David Tennison. He is also running for Craighead County Justice of the Peace District 8. And, of course, KLEK and the Voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. We do not endorse, support, nor oppose any candidate for office. This interview is provided for informational purposes only, but we do encourage you to exercise your right to vote. Election day is November 3rd. You can get your absentee ballot in. You can go ahead and request for it now. They are due by October 26th, but like I said earlier, the mail is running slow, so don't wait until then to turn it in. Get it turned in as soon as possible. So, David, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Good.
All right, so, David, let's just start off with a brief introduction about yourself and your background.
Okay. Well, I'm David Tennison. I'm currently the Justice of the Peace in District 8, Craighead County, and I'm serving my 4th term. This will be my 8th year on the court, and I moved to Jonesboro 40 years ago. Took a job at Lowe's when Lowe's was on Caraway Road, and
before my time.
Yeah, I managed that place for him, or assistant manager there. I've been married for 48 years to my wife Vicki, and I have a daughter that stays with us. She's 44, and I have a son, Ryan, that lives here in Jonesboro in my district, and his wife is Beth. She's a great gal, and I have 4 beautiful grandkids. Their names are Jacob, Jenna, Seth, and Sarah, and 2 sets of twins, actually. And I'm a member of Forest Home Church of the Nazarene. I've been a member there for over 30 years and served on the board there in the past. And I'm currently in the Quorum Court. I serve on the Road and Transportation Committee, and we get to review and hear reports from the road foreman every month, and his name's Eugene Neff, and he tells us about bridge projects that are going on, and he another thing we get to do on the road committee now is when people are doing a subdivision or a lot split or anything, we have to approve all those to make sure that all the roads and everything are going to be good going into it, and make sure they're done properly and where the county can maintain them. I've also, in the past, I've served on the Public Service Committee for 2 years and chaired it for 1 year. And I've also served on the Budget Committee a couple of years. When Ed Hill was the judge, we had a Budget Committee every year and to set the budget for the following year. one thing about Quorum Court is that although I live in District 8, which is all in the city limits of Jonesboro, there's no county roads there. But anyway, we serve the whole county. So I've had calls from Lake City and Caraway and Monad and other places, about issues or concerns that they had, with their roads or with some other issue. Anyway.
Well, let me ask you this question. Since you are currently on the court, and you mentioned about being on the budget committee, and this is something that we've asked all of the candidates, what can the Quorum Court do to prevent a situation what happened with the most recent county clerk and even the clerk before that with the funds, especially such a large amount of funds turning up missing? What can you guys do about it?
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking and listening, and I think it's going to take people and us talking to our congressman like Brant Smith. He's my particular congressman, and
State representative.
Yeah, representative, and Jack Ladyman and Dwight Tosh and those guys, because there needs to be some consideration to maybe get some legislation to where there can be more accountability in the county offices. Pretty much right now they're all on their own. We don't have a lot of control, over that. We do get to see reports, and every month we get a financial report from Wes Eddington, and we get several reports from Terry McNatt in the treasurer's office, and everything.
But you all weren't getting reports from the clerk's office?
Right.
Okay.
No.
And there was nothing
No.
y'all could force him to do so?
Right.
Yeah, definitely probably take a law that you did. Uncle Billy, did you have a question?
No, I'm listening and just trying to,
Try to take it all in. All right, so we are speaking with David Tennison, candidate for JP District 8. So obviously you are the incumbent. So what would you say is the thing that you are most proud of that you've accomplished since you've been in office?
Okay. One of the things, I took office when Ed Hill was still the county judge, and one thing we did, I was on the Road and Transportation Committee at that time, and one thing that we done, all of our equipment was old. All our graders and all our trucks and all our other equipment was old, and stayed in the shop, being repaired all the time. And one thing we did with Ed's help was to start a purchase system where we buy 2 or 3 pieces of equipment every year, and with a buyback guarantee, and then that went on, where we'd buy 2 more the next year and 2 more the next year, and then after that we'd start selling them off, and anyway, that way our equipment all stayed almost new, and we were getting high dollar for them when we sold them, so the cost was really kept down, and our shop time was a lot less in that, and I think that's something we can be proud of.
Okay, and if you are elected to another term, what do you want to do to either build upon what you've already done, or some new things that you would like to see for the county?
Okay, I've heard.
Hold on, Q, you had something?
No, I'm gonna let you finish that. Then I do have a question.
Okay, well, go ahead and answer the one I just asked.
One thing I know, you mentioned the county clerks, the embezzlement and all that. We want to continue to try to recover all those funds, and it's going to take a lot of work from Marvin Day, Judge Day, and some attorneys and all that, and it's going to take a while to recover all that. But he's feeling pretty good about being able to recover a lot of that, and but it's probably going to take another rest of this year, and I'm sure part of next year to be able to come to some kind of conclusion on that. I've heard y'all talk about the crisis stabilization unit out there, and that is a great facility and really an asset, to Craig County and the other surrounding counties. I talked with Marty Boyd a little bit about that, and he says that the COVID-19 has played a really big role in its use this year, because with the CDC guidelines and all, it really kind of limits that some. But he expressed that a big issue out there at the crisis stabilization unit is in communication, with the people that are either going to be admitted there or their families, and to just, people need to know that if they're intoxicated and out there, they have to go to jail. They can't be admitted there while they're intoxicated, and I just Mid-South Health Systems, they do have counselors out there, that work with these people. So I just think it's a real asset to us.
Got a Facebook shout. I got a shout out to my fraternity brother David Perry, checking all the way in from Florida. Appreciate you for checking in, Fred. All right, Quabila, you ready for your question now?
Yes, I want to ask him the same question that Ms. Patty brought up about developing a relationship with the city council members that serve in the same. However, the wards in the district overlap. What would he like to? Well, how would he like to approach developing those relationships moving forward if he's reelected?
Okay, I have been to some city council meetings, and I think that's a great idea. To establish a relationship with those guys, that represent the same area that I do, and just work from there and go forward and try to be more aware, of some of the city, even though we have no jurisdiction over city things and city deal. I still need to be more aware of as a citizen of that district.
Okay, Quabila?
Yes, what about also engaging with the residents? We know that, sometimes it's hard. Well, it's hard to get the community as a whole to come together, but maybe if you can start with the residents in your area and help them to be more aware of whatever the issues are, city or county. Again, I know you have no jurisdiction over the city. However, by developing the relationship with the city council members, you all can take that information to the residents. Would you be willing to host virtual or super small gatherings, in-person gatherings to inform the residents?
Absolutely, I would be willing to do that, either virtually. Probably right now it'd be better to do it virtually because of the CDC guidelines and all that. I think that's a good idea, and I try to get out in my neighborhood and to meet folks. I actually work at J.T. White Lumber. That's my real job, and I know lots and lots and lots of people in my district, and I try to, they come in there and talk to me from time to time and express their concerns about different things. So I'm available to the folks.
I know in the last election cycle for county offices, an issue that came up was about roads and even about drainage. Are those still issues that are still pressing? Has there been any progress since then? And if there's still more to be done, what would you do on those issues?
I think road issues are a problem. They're going to be, they develop over a period of time, and especially if we have hard winters or lots of snow and ice and stuff like that, that deteriorates the roads very quickly. And yes, there's always issues out there. There are always roads out there that need attention, and there's always going to be roads that need attention. They grade them on a routine, regular basis, and to try to keep them that way. But it takes constant maintenance to keep ditches cleaned out and that sort of thing, and that allows the roads to last a lot longer. First of all, the roads have to be done properly when they're put in, and sometimes Marvin and Eugene and their crews, they have to go out and they repair roads that maybe weren't done right when the subdivision was put in several years ago or something like that.
Quabila?
Okay. Well, he's pretty much touched on, you know, all the issues that some of the others have touched on. I know that we talked about the stabilization unit, the crisis stabilization unit. Okay, I do want to ask this. This is something that was brought up yesterday concerning funding for job security going forward. I understand that, we just don't know what's happening, especially with the virus, being what it is. But to ensure that people on the county level especially don't face losing their job, what are some things that can be put in place now to ensure funding is there, or they have to not work, that they are able to at least get unemployment benefits?
Okay. I listened yesterday to that, and so far I don't think there's been a lot of issue with funding. I think the folks some folks took a volunteer layoff, and and that kind of helped the county out a lot, and they have not had to force a layoff on anybody. And from the financial reports that I've been seeing, I don't think that that's going to be a problem, because our financial reports have actually been very good the last couple of months and several months. Sales tax collections have been up with the sales tax collections off of online sales and stuff now, and also with the tornado and stuff, the construction business has been booming, and it's just sales tax collections have been higher, and so I don't anticipate there being any funding problems in that area.
We do have a community announcement, not to interrupt. It says there is a free food distribution for everyone at Temple Baptist Church. It started at 9. No ID required. Lots of food to give away. So if you are hungry and you are in need of food, there is a free food distribution going on right now at Temple Baptist Church. It started at 9 a.m. They don't think any ID is required, so just head out there and get you some food and be blessed. So, David, my next question is, so obviously we've been talking about COVID-19 and the CDC. Have you been in communication with Sheriff Boyd? Has there been a need to potentially release any prisoners in the county jail to try to slow down the spread of any potential COVID out there, to ensure that the county jail is not overcrowded? I know that in some places, especially your more nonviolent offenders have been released, just so that there can still be some social distancing in the jail. Has that been something that has went on here?
I think that has gone on here. I've noticed, that the jail roster, I look at the jail rosters every now and then, and almost every day, and I've noticed that there's been a lot less people that have been admitted to the jail, and and I've heard Marty speak that they have tried to keep less in there because of the COVID-19 and everything.
All right, Kabila.
Well, I just wanted to ask, going forward, what are if you are reelected, what are some of I want to say the top 3 maybe issues that you would like to advocate for, make changes with concerning Cricket County?
Top 3 issues that you want to focus on if you get another term.
Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I think we need to focus on collecting all we can from the county clerk incident. I think we need to make every effort that we can to reimburse the county for all that money that was lost there. Secondly, being on the Road and Transportation Committee, I'm always an advocate for having the absolute best roads that this county can have with the money that we have to spend. So I just want to make sure that we do the best we can with that. And third, on the crisis stabilization unit, I think we need to continue to grow that and make better use of it, and I think you're going to see that happen over the years and next few months. So.
All right, so we got about 2 minutes left. So is there anything else that you'd like to talk about that we did not cover, or just explain to the listeners why they should vote for you for another term for District 8.
Okay. All right. I think my experience, first of all, makes me the best choice for this position, and I have so much knowledge of the road and transportation committee and their workings, and I've been involved in the construction business for the last, working at Lumberyard at J.T. White and Lowe's before that. I'm very familiar with all the subdivisions that are going in and stuff like that, and I feel like I have vast knowledge in that. I also have experience on the Public Service Committee and having chaired that for 1 year, and I know of the inner workings of the Public Service Committee, and having been on the Budget Committee a couple of times and going through that process of establishing a budget for the next year, I know how all that falls into place, and I just feel that kind of makes me the best choice for the position.
All right, Dave, we want to definitely thank you for stopping by the studio today. And, of course, we wish you the best of luck. And hopefully we'll be able to get you and Patty in here before the election day for a little old-fashioned spirited debate. Of course, KLK and the Voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, we do not endorse nor support or oppose any candidate for office. These interviews are provided for informational purposes only, but I cannot stress this enough. Please go out and exercise your right to vote, because somebody's going to win. So you might as well have a say in whoever that person is, because the person that you elect will make decisions that will affect you. Election day is November 3rd. You can right now contact the county clerk's office and request your absentee ballot if you are concerned about COVID-19, or if you're going to be busy, or whatever your reason may be. That ballot is due by October 26th, but mail is running slow. I'm sure you've heard in the news about all the things going on with the post office, so don't wait. As soon as you get it filled out, get it returned. All right, we're going to get up out of here for today. You guys have a good and blessed weekend. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on